Hey everyone, welcome back to Sidekick English, the podcast where English is your superpower and we are your sidekicks. I'm Maya.
And I'm Theo. Today we are going to the pharmacy. Don't worry, it's not a scary visit. It's fun, it's simple, and you will learn a lot of useful English.
Before we start, remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. It really helps us, and it helps you keep learning English with us.
All right, let's imagine this. You are on a trip. You're in another country. You don't feel very good. You need a pharmacy, but you need English. So today, we give you that English.
We'll do a small story at the pharmacy, we'll talk about useful words and sentences, and we'll give you some funny examples so you can remember everything easily.
Okay, let's start our little story. Imagine I am not feeling so great today.
And I am the friend who helps, because I am nice sometimes.
Only sometimes?
Yes. Only when we are recording.
Good to know. So let's start. I walk into the pharmacy with Maya.
But remember, in our story, there are no other people speaking. Only me and Theo. So we will tell you what happens, and we will give you the English you need.
First, the word pharmacy. In American English, people say pharmacy or drugstore. In British English, you can also hear chemist.
For this episode, we will say pharmacy. That's easy. Pharmacy.
When you arrive, maybe you want to ask, "Excuse me, is there a pharmacy near here?"
Excuse me is very useful. It is polite. Use excuse me before you ask a question.
So in our story, before we even go inside, I say, "Excuse me, Maya, I really need a pharmacy today."
And I say, why? What's wrong?
What's wrong means, what is the problem? You can also say, what's the problem? Or, what's going on? Or, are you okay?
But what's wrong is very common and very simple. Use it when someone looks sick or sad.
So in the story, I say, I don't feel well. I think I need some medicine.
I don't feel well. That is a very good sentence. It is more polite and softer than I feel bad or I feel sick.
You can say, I don't feel well when you have a small problem, maybe a headache or a cold or a stomachache.
Let's learn some of these words. These are very useful at the pharmacy. Headache, pain in your head. Stomachache, pain in your stomach. Toothache, pain in your tooth. Backache, pain in your back.
And we also have these: sore throat, when your throat hurts. Cough, when you make a sound like cough, cough. Cold, when you have a runny nose and maybe you cough and you sneeze. Fever, when your body is very hot.
Good. Now let's go back into our little story. We arrive at the pharmacy. So I say, okay, Theo, here is the pharmacy. Let's go inside.
And I say, thanks, Maya. I really need something for my headache.
So now we are inside. In a real situation, at the pharmacy, you talk to the pharmacist. But in our story, only Theo and I speak, so we will describe everything for you.
When you speak to a pharmacist, you can start like this. Hello, I don't feel well. Or, hello, I have a headache. Or, hi, I need something for a cough.
I need something for is a very useful phrase. You can use it for many things. I need something for a headache. I need something for a sore throat. I need something for my stomach. I need something for dry skin.
Easy, right? You just change the last words.
In our story, Theo has a headache. So he says,
I need something for a headache.
I look around the pharmacy and I say, okay, the painkillers are over there on the shelf.
Painkillers are medicine for pain. For example, for a headache, a toothache, or back pain.
Shelf is the flat place where products stand in a store. In the plural, we say shelves.
So you can say, the medicine is on the shelf, or the vitamins are on the top shelf.
Now, at the pharmacy, you usually have two types of medicine: prescription and over-the-counter.
Prescription medicine is medicine that you need a paper or an electronic note from a doctor for. That paper is a prescription.
Over-the-counter medicine is medicine you can buy without a prescription. You can just take it from the shelf and pay for it.
For example, in many places, simple painkillers for headaches are over the counter. So in our story, I ask, Maya, do I need a prescription for this?
And I answer, no, it's over the counter. You don't need a prescription for that.
Now, sometimes you want to say what kind of pain you have. You can say, I have a sharp pain in my head. That's a strong, quick pain. I have a dull pain in my back. That's a low, slow pain.
But as a beginner, the easiest way is, I have a headache. I have a stomachache. I have a sore throat. I have a fever.
You can also say, my head hurts. My stomach hurts. My back hurts. My throat hurts.
Both are okay. Use the one that feels easier for you.
So in the story, I tell Maya more details. I say, my head really hurts and I feel a little dizzy.
Dizzy means you feel like the room is moving or turning. Maybe you feel like you will fall.
So this is useful at a pharmacy. I feel dizzy. I feel weak. I feel tired. I feel a little sick.
Now Maya, the pharmacy expert, helps. Okay, Theo, take this box. It's pain medicine. But remember to read the instructions.
Instructions are the information on the box or inside the box. They explain how to use the medicine.
At the pharmacy, instructions tell you how many pills to take, how often to take them, when to take them, for example, before a meal or after a meal.
You will see words like dosage, how much medicine, once a day, 1 time a day, twice a day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day.
And also, before meals, after meals, with water. Do not drive. Do not drink alcohol.
Those last 2 are very important, especially if you want to party and also take medicine. Not a good idea.
In simple English at the pharmacy, you can ask, how often should I take this? How many should I take? Should I take this with food?
So in our story, I look at the box and I ask Maya, Maya, how often should I take this?
And I answer. It says, take 1 pill every 6 hours. Do not take more than 4 pills in 24 hours.
It says is a very useful phrase. You can use it when you read something. It says take with food. It says do not drive. It says for external use only.
For external use only means you do not eat it. You only use it on the outside of your body. For example, a cream.
Speaking of creams, let's talk about some other things you can buy at a pharmacy.
Yes, a pharmacy is not only for medicine. You can also find Band-Aids or plasters for small cuts. Bandage, a bigger piece of cloth for injuries. Cream or ointment for your skin. Vitamins. Shampoo. Soap. Toothpaste. Toothbrush.
That's true. Sometimes a pharmacy is like a mini supermarket of health things.
Let's add these phrases. I need a Band-Aid. I need some cream for dry skin. I need something for a rash.
Rash is red, irritated skin, maybe with small spots. Very fun to say, not very fun to have.
So in our story, after we get medicine for your headache, you say,
Oh, and I also need some vitamins.
and I say, sure, the vitamins are next to the shampoo.
Next to means on the side of something. For example, the pharmacy is next to the bank. The vitamins are next to the toothpaste.
Other useful location words in a pharmacy. On the left. On the right. In the back, at the end of the store. At the front. On the top shelf. On the bottom shelf.
Now, let's talk about one important word, allergy.
An allergy is when your body has a bad reaction to something. For example, some people have an allergy to peanuts or to some medicine.
At the pharmacy, it's important to say if you have allergies. You can say, I am allergic to penicillin. I am allergic to this medicine. I am allergic to nuts.
I am allergic to is a great structure. You can use it with many things.
In our story, I remember something important, and I say, Oh, Maya, I am allergic to this one. I can't take it.
And I say, okay, good, you remembered. Let's choose another brand.
Brand is the company that makes the product. For example, Coca-Cola is a brand. At the pharmacy, you see many brands of the same medicine.
So you can ask, do you have a cheaper brand? Do you have a generic version?
Generic medicine is usually cheaper and not a famous brand, but it has the same active ingredient.
Active ingredient is the important part of the medicine that does the work in your body.
That phrase is a little more advanced, but you will see it on the box, so it is nice to know it.
Now let's talk about symptoms. That is an important word at a pharmacy.
Symptoms are the signs of your sickness. For example, cough, fever, headache are symptoms.
At the pharmacy, you can say, my main symptoms are cough and sore throat. I have flu symptoms. I have allergy symptoms.
In simple English, you can also say, I have these problems, cough, fever, and a runny nose.
Runny nose is when your nose has water coming out. It's not very elegant, but it's real life.
Very real life. So in the story, maybe I also have a small cold. I say, I also have a cough and a runny nose. I think I'm getting a cold.
I'm getting a cold means the cold is starting. You are starting to feel sick.
So I say, I need something for a cough. Nothing too strong, please.
Nothing too strong is a good expression. It means you want a soft, light medicine, not very powerful.
You can use it in other situations too. I want a coffee, but nothing too strong. I want a perfume, but nothing too strong.
Nice. So I tell you in the story. Here's some cough syrup. It's not too strong, and it's sugar-free.
Cough syrup is liquid medicine for a cough. You usually take it with a spoon or a small cup.
Sugar-free means it does not have sugar. Good for people who need to avoid sugar.
Let's talk about how to ask about side effects.
Side effects are other, usually bad things that can happen when you take medicine. For example, feeling sleepy, feeling sick, or having a rash.
At the pharmacy, you can ask, are there any side effects? Does this make you sleepy? Will this make me tired?
In our story, I try to be a responsible friend, so I say, you should check the side effects before you buy it.
And I say, good idea. I don't want to feel more tired than I already feel.
You should is also a useful expression for advice. You should drink a lot of water. You should rest. You should see a doctor.
You should see a doctor is important. A pharmacy is good for small problems, but for big problems or long problems, you should go to a doctor.
So in the story, after we get the medicine, I say, if your headache is still bad tomorrow, you should see a doctor.
And I say, yeah, you're right. If it gets worse, I will go to the doctor.
If it gets worse means if the problem becomes bigger or stronger.
The opposite is better. So we say, I feel better. It's getting better.
Now let's also talk about paying at the pharmacy. Simple words you may hear. Cash, money notes and coins. Card, bank card or credit card. Receipt, the piece of paper that shows what you bought.
You can ask, can I pay by card? Can I pay with cash? Can I have a receipt, please?
In our story, I am the rich friend, so I say, don't worry, Theo, I'll pay this time.
And I say, very fast, thank you, Maya. You are my favorite person in the pharmacy.
Only in the pharmacy?
One step at a time, Maya. One location at a time.
Let's review some of the most important sentences from today.
I don't feel well.
I have a headache.
I have a sore throat.
I have a cough and a runny nose.
I think I'm getting a cold.
I need something for a headache.
How often should I take this?
Are there any side effects?
I am allergic to this medicine.
Do I need a prescription for this?
It says take one pill every 6 hours.
If it gets worse, you should see a doctor.
These sentences are all beginner-friendly, but very useful in real life. If you learn them, you can survive a visit to the pharmacy in English.
And now, at the end of our little story, we walk out of the pharmacy. I say, okay, Theo, you have your medicine, your vitamins, and your cough syrup. Mission completed.
And I say, yes, now I just need one more thing.
And I say, what do you need now?
And I say, I need some rest and a big cup of tea.
That is the best medicine sometimes.
So today we learned how to ask for help at the pharmacy, how to talk about symptoms, how to ask about medicine, and how to understand basic instructions.
You can listen to this episode again to help the expressions stay in your memory. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to understand and communicate.
If you want more episodes like this, at the supermarket, at the airport, at the restaurant, stay with us on Sidekick English.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with a friend who is learning English.
And tell us in the comments, what English phrases do you want to learn next? Maybe at the dentist? Maybe at the airport? We'd love to know.
Thanks for listening and learning with us today.
Take care, stay healthy, and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.